This is Say It, Spell It, Write It, and it's a sight word intervention to help students master their sight word fluency. And the materials that you're going to need are, for the actual intervention, you're going to need a movable alphabet, and there's also letters in your materials that you can pre-cut if you would rather use those if you don't have a movable alphabet available. You're going to need the Say It, Spell It, Write It sheet that's found in your materials. And the student's going to need something to write on. You can either use a whiteboard and a marker, or if you want it to be more permanent, they can track this in their journal. You're also going to need the sight word list, and there's several lists that are in your materials, but you want to make sure you start with list 1 just to make sure that the students know all of those words before you move them on to the next set. There's also going to be pre-made sight word cards that correspond with each list. So for the list 1 that you would inventory the students with, there's a list 1 already made of those sight words. You're also going to want the data sheets for both student and teacher. And there's going to be one for the teacher to track the number of sight words that the student knows. And then there's going to be a data sheet for the student so that they can color in how many sight words they have mastered. So before you start the actual intervention, you're going to need to know which of the sight words your students need to work on. And so again, starting with list 1, you would just inventory the students and you would have them read each word. The words that they missed, you want to mark somehow, either highlight or exit out, whichever works best for you. And then the ones that they missed would be the words that you cut out of the list to use with them. And we would recommend only starting them out with about 5 to 7 words, and depending on how slow or fast your student's mastering them, you can determine how many words a week you're going to give them. So after you've gotten the words that they've missed, you're going to start the actual intervention. And so this is what the intervention would look like. Okay, so you did a really good job reading your sight words, but there are a couple of them that we still need to work on. So today we're going to practice some of your sight words. And so I'm going to read you the word, and then I want you to read it after me. So this is she.
She.
Them.
Them.
Very good. Now I'm going to put this word here under the say it spot, and I want you to say the sight word.
She.
Very good. Now in this spot, I want you to use the movable alphabet to spell the word she. Very good. Now I want you to write the word she. Good job. And what was this word again?
She.
Very good. You can put those letters back. Now obviously if the student misses some of the letters, you want to correct them, and if they're not sure of the word afterwards, tell them the word again and have them repeat it back to you. Okay, now we're going to do this word. This word is them. Can you say it?
Them.
Very good. Now can you spell it for me? Good job. Now can you write it? That's okay. Very good. You write the word. Okay, and what is that word?
Them.
Very good. Obviously, if you're doing this intervention with the student, they would have at least 3 to 5 more words. And once you get done having the student say the word, spell it, and write each word, you want to go back over the words again and see if the student remembers any of them.
Good morning, staff.
Can you tell me what this word is?
The meeting for primary is going to be held in the media center.
If the student doesn't know some of the words, it's okay.
Please have co-teachers come as well to the beginning of the meeting. That's primary teachers and co-teachers now in the media center. Thank you.
You would go through all of their sight words, and if a student misses a word, just remind them what the word is again. And you would want to do this intervention all week long, and then at the end of the week, you would go back to list 1, and you would have them read all of the words again. And you're hoping that the students are going to have mastered some of the words that they missed the first time. And when you get done with that, the student would graph in how many correct words they got, and the teacher would check off what words the student got right on the list. You also want to make sure that this mastery is transferring over to their reading. So we recommend that the words that they've gotten correct on these lists, that you're keeping them accountable for that when they're reading text and guided reading or independent reading. And that's the Say It, Spell It, Write It intervention for sight word fluency.